Page 25, interval workout. On page 24 is another review. You're welcome to do that. I don't cover it in the videos. If you have questions, you're welcome to ask. The answers are in the back of the book. You can find them. Now, on the top of page 25, they're covering more intervals. We've had intervals of a second and a third. Remember, just review, a second is the next to it. 1, 2. A third, there's a note in between. Thirds, 1, 2, 3, third. Here's fourths and fifths. It doesn't matter what the interval is as long as you know how to figure it out. Whatever. So start on any note. I'm going to start on C. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be an interval of a fourth. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an interval of a fifth. You get a lot of fifths because a fifth, if you add a note in between, you get 2/3 here and here. Remember the C chord? We use these a lot. Well, it sounds hollow without the middle note in it. The fourth, one note will be on a line and the other will be on a space, or it'll be on a space and the other on a line. And on the fifths, they're both on lines or both on spaces, and there is a line or space in between. Look at an interval workout. Look at the last measure, the quarter notes. You have a C and a G. Well, that's a fifth. If you look at the music, you'll see there's one line in between the C and the G. So you can recognize fifths in the music pretty quickly. And the fourths, you'll learn to recognize them. They're different, but they're there. And then at the bottom line, the second line of the last measure, it's a C and a G. They're both on spaces, and there's a space in between. Those are fifths. Yeah. So if I take this chord, a 3-note chord, then I have a third here, I have a third here, and I have a fifth here. See, the interval is the distance between any two notes. And they don't have to be at the same time. Look at the beginning of this. I have a C and a D. They're played one at a time, but the interval between them is still a second. Because the interval doesn't, I could take the first note of the first line, this is C, and I could take the last note of the second line, it's a chord, but let's take the bottom note. So I got this note and I got this note. Well, the interval between those two notes, count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's an interval of an eighth. It's also known as an octave. An interval of an 8 is very important in music. The octave, because it's letter to letter. A to A, F to F, D to D, whatever. Yeah. Octave. We do a lot of octaves in piano. And you'll eventually get the idea of what it feels like to play the octave in the hand. You'll just know how far apart they are. It takes a little time, but you'll get there. We get octaves a lot, but just understand an octave is just an interval of an eighth. So we've got fourths and fifths in this interval workout, which could also be called an interval etude. Remember etude? It's a study piece of some sort. Well, here it's a study piece on intervals of fourths and fifths. So let's look this thing over. 2 lines long, treble and bass clef, 4/4 time, quarter notes and half notes pretty much. There's an eighth or a quarter rest in there. And of course we got whole rests. Right hand first, get the notes and the rhythms. Thumb is on C, hand is here. You don't need any of the other finger numbers. Please don't read finger numbers. Read the notes. Take a pencil and scribble them out. If I were your teacher and you're in front of me, I would do that. You get the first finger number and that's it for now. But when you start moving the hands around, you need finger numbers to help you move the hands around. But when you're not moving, you only need to know where to put the hand, and you can take it from there. So it's a C, D, and then the C and the F together, and then the C and the G together. And that is tied. So that half note is tied to a quarter note. So you're going to hold it down for 3 counts. So the last 2 measures of the first line, 1, 2, 3, 4, tie. So watch out on the tied notes. Second line's left hand. The thumb is on G here. Put your hand here. And again, you don't need the other finger numbers. Just play the notes. And that's tied. So you're going to hold it down for 3 counts. 4, tie. So once you have the idea of the notes and the rhythms, and you play it through with no hesitations, try and play this without looking at the keyboard still. If you want to try and remember what keys the fingers are on, then we can add the dynamics. MF is mezzo forte, MF. That's medium loud, moderately loud, sort of loud, whatever you think that is. It's not loud, it's just, you have a middle area, a medium area, and it's the loud side of the medium area. There's another way of looking at it. You'll have to decide what that is. Now you don't have to take it my speed, because there's no speed written in here. We don't know how fast to take this. We'll get to the speeds later, eventually. So you take it at a comfortable speed where you can play it correctly. You don't have to rush through it. Just don't play it so slow that it drags. That doesn't work on piano, because on a piano, when you play a note, it dies away. And if you have to sit there and listen to it and do nothing else for a while, that just gets really old, just really quick. You say, is this thing going to get ever get over? So it has to move so it flows. You just don't have to go fast. Let's play it together slowly and double check that you have the right notes and rhythms. So I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tie. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tie. Rest.